Hey, it's Yajen with Gimme CrossFit here in Dimas, and today we're going to talk about the truth about why you're overweight. And before we actually dive into this video, I want to make sure to emphasize that this is not meant to come off as a derogatory term. Actually, I saw a post the other day that another one of my friends had put out that was talking about being overweight, and let's be honest, there is no such thing as being healthy fat. However, at the same time, that does not mean that it's okay to treat anyone differently because of the way they look, their appearance, or any of those things. However, at the same time, when I work with someone, if we are overweight, we have to accept that fact before we can take a step and start making those changes towards better health, better fitness, and feeling better overall. So again, this is not meant to come off as offensive. I'm only here trying to help. Okay, so let's dive into it. And what we're going to talk about today is about your identity, about your environment, and how these things have a huge impact on the things that we do on a regular basis, and therefore basically creating the person that we are. There's this really cool quote that says something along the lines of, people don't decide their futures, they decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures. Well, one of the things that we have to realize is that humans really like to tie themselves into some sort of identity. And basically by saying, I am fill in the blank here, we then start to go out and find things out within our environment, within our surroundings, that basically connect with the identity that we've created for ourselves. And that can either be, helping us out in a positive way or tearing us down in a negative way. Our identity can be supporting who we're trying to become, or it can be pushing us away. And I really want to point this out. If you've ever started a workout program, you're going strong, and all of a sudden you fall off the wagon, and 2 months later you realize, oh, wait a second, I haven't visited the gym, or I haven't hit a workout in weeks, if not the entire 2 months. A lot of the times, once we identify ourselves with something, our body, our subconscious is going to fight really hard to be able to maintain, alignment with how we identify ourselves. So whether, you're going to go ahead and say, I am fit or I am fat, you're pretty much going to start looking for ways to turn that into your reality, because our reality is really just how we perceive things. Whether or not I think this room is orange and black really comes down to the way I see it. A colorblind person obviously would not see it as orange and black. So how are we able to change our identity and change our environment in a way that actually supports us into shedding unwanted body fat? We're going to change this by 3 ways, okay? By modeling success, by changing our environmental factors, and then getting back up whenever we do fall down. Now, the first one, modeling success, this is really simple, and I think it's something that all of you should be familiar with if you're watching this video, because deep down, we know what it takes to be fit. You need to move more, and you need to pay more attention to what you're actually eating, what you're consuming on a regular basis, right? If we take a person who's in really great shape and basically try to identify all of the habits and behaviors that they go through on a regular basis from the moment they wake up in the morning to when they fall asleep at night, pay attention to what they're eating, pay attention to how they're moving, when they're moving, how much they're moving, and you follow that, essentially that blueprint, I can guarantee you that in a couple of weeks, you're going to start seeing some shifts in your body. You're going to wake up a little more energized. You're going to be a little more excited. You're probably going to start shedding off a little weight on the scale. If you're taking your circumference, you might be shedding a couple inches here and there as well. And over time, you're eventually going to become the person that your habits created you into. So the first one is to model success. Look at someone who's already done it. What are they doing? How can I copy that? What are they doing that I'm not doing? How can I follow that, right? Ask yourself those questions to kind of get the ball rolling there. Now, The next thing is environmental factors, and I think this one's a really, really powerful one, because I'm a strong believer if you don't want to be eating too many cookies, and this is coming from personal experience, don't leave the cookies on the counter. I had this period of my life where every time I went to the supermarket, I'd buy a box of cookies and then I'd leave it on my desk. Guess what? As I'm working throughout the day, it's like, oh, I just got this piece of work done. Let me get a cookie, and then another, and then another. And next thing you know, sometimes I'd finish this entire box of cookies within one day, sometimes even less. That's insane? Yeah, it is. But you know what was the simple fix to that? Just get it out. Don't put the cookies there. Don't leave them in the house. Don't leave them in the cupboards, because you know that willpower is only going to last you so long. And the truth about willpower is that it's a muscle. It's something that you have to work into and build up. And studies have shown that our willpower actually decreases throughout the day. And this is something that's repeated in a lot of books that I've read: Atomic Habits, The One Thing, The Happiness Advantage. And basically, if you don't want to be doing this, then don't put yourself in this situation where you might be tempted to do this in the first place. Aside from what you're keeping in your pantry, in your cupboards, in your kitchen, other environmental factors that might play a really big role in whether or not you're able to change your habits are the people around you, right? This also played a really strong role in my life. I'm not gonna pinpoint exactly what was going on there, but let's say there was a habit that I was trying to stop. And I was doing good, I was doing it good, I was doing good. However, every time I met up with people that I regularly saw, they would want to take part in this activity that I was like, hey, this is not for me. But there's only so many times you can put yourself in that situation before you jump right back in, and it's like, oh, why the heck not, right? And then next thing you know, you're right back to where you started. So change your environment of what physically is around you, but also the people that are around you. If you hang out with people that are working out 5, 6, 7 days a week, sooner or later, you're probably going to be tempted to jump in on a couple of workouts with them, and next thing you know it, you're probably going to be working out just as much as they are. And the third thing is get back up when you fall down. Understand that change is difficult. When we're trying to push against our identity and really shift that entire thing, our identity is going to fight back. And you're going to fall off a couple times here and there. However, that's part of the process, right? I've been working out for over a decade at this point. Trust me, there have been countless times where I've kind of fallen off the wagon. However, what was the difference? Every time I fall off, eventually I did get back on. And having gotten back on was really the difference between, being fit and not being fit, right? We're all gonna fall off at a certain point. Don't let that drag you down forever, right? It's a temporary roadblock. Don't turn it into a permanent one and kind of ruin that for yourself. So the 3 ways to kind of change your identity is to model success, change environmental factors around you, and get back up whenever you do fall down. And how are you going to go about this? There's a lot of ways, but the focus of making these positive changes will be when it comes to accountability. And how can you go about driving better accountability for yourself when you are making these changes? Well, a couple ways to do so is find a partner. Find someone else who's trying to work towards the same goals as you are. Humans like doing stuff with other humans. So all of a sudden, when you wake up one day and you're like, I don't feel like going for that run, or I don't feel like showing up for my workout. Hey, where are you? That's also the purpose of having a coach as well, or some sort of workout program, a gym that you go to, whatever it is. Build in some sort of accountability system, or as simple as pull out a piece of paper and make it a goal for the next 30 days. You can change your eating, or you can change your fitness, but very detailed. How are you going to change your nutrition? Are you going to cut out all added sugars to your diet? Are you going to cut out all processed foods? Are you going to try to eat more vegetables? What is it going to be? And now track it, all right? Each day that you get through, did you make it? Check it off. If you messed up, you missed it, right? But that way you have a visual way of keeping track of your progress and how you're doing. And when you're on that 5-day streak, trust me, you're gonna think twice between whether or not you really wanna miss your workout and break that streak rather than sticking to it. All right, it's a really powerful tool. So find a partner, find a community and environment that actually supports the changes that you want to make, or just track it on paper if that's easier for you. I know that's a really powerful tool that we use here for our members as well. So that's kind of what I really wanted to talk about to you today, the truth about why you're overweight and how you can overcome it by changing your identity, changing your environment, and then using the right accountability tools to see it all the way through there. So if you're out there today and you've been thinking about like, hey, I really want to make this change, but something's been holding you back, go through the steps, right? One at a time. If you have any trouble, drop a comment below, shoot me a message. I'm here to help. But take action today, because the difference between whether or not you're actually going to hit those goals versus being stuck where you are or falling behind even further is just get started, right? So I challenge you to get started today. Hope this video helped. If this was beneficial to you at all, please drop down, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Share this with someone you think it might be really beneficial for them to hear this message, because I know a lot of people right now need to hear this message and can truly benefit from taking massive action when it comes to weight loss and health and fitness within their lives. So again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.